The version of you that needs an audience will always stay average. Say that again to yourself. Every man who has ever built something real, every warrior, philosopher, emperor, built it in silence. Not for a crowd, not for approval. In the dark, when no one was watching, when no one was clapping. And right now, most of you are doing the opposite. You're performing discipline instead of practicing it. The first rule of mastery: no witnesses required. In this video, I'm going to show you the brutal truth about why your discipline keeps breaking down, why the gym streaks end, why the routines collapse, why the ambition dies. It's not because you're weak, it's because you've been building your discipline on the wrong foundation: public approval instead of private conviction. By the end of this, you'll know exactly how to become consistent when no one is watching, how to build a Stoic discipline routine that doesn't need an audience to survive, and you'll understand what Marcus Aurelius figured out 2,000 years ago that most men still haven't learned. Around 161 AD, a man became the most powerful person on earth, Emperor of Rome, commander of the greatest army in history, surrounded by servants, senators, crowds who would die for his approval. And this man went home every night and wrote in a private journal, not to publish, not to inspire. He literally titled it, "To Myself." Meditations was never meant to be read by you. Now listen carefully. Marcus Aurelius practiced philosophy in private. He held himself to impossible standards in private. He questioned his own courage, his own laziness, his own excuses in private. And then he went out and ruled an empire. That's not coincidence, that's the pattern. The private work came first, always. Most men today have inverted this. They post the workout, they skip the reps, they announce the goal, they abandon the process, they perform discipline instead of practicing it, and wonder why nothing changes. What you do when no one is watching is your real character. Everything else is theater. Here's what most people don't understand about discipline when no one is watching. Insight 1. Approval is a drug, and discipline is its antidote. Every time you post before you've earned it, you get a hit of dopamine, a substitute reward. Your brain registers, task complete. But the real task wasn't done. Over time, the performance replaces the work. You become an actor playing a disciplined man instead of actually being one. Epictetus was a slave who had nothing to perform for, no status, no audience. He built iron philosophy in pure darkness, and it outlasted every emperor who ever watched him. But here's the thing, you can reverse this. Start by removing the audience, even mentally. Before you begin any task, ask yourself, would I still do this if absolutely no one ever knew? Insight 2. The dark is where identity is formed. When no one is watching, there is no version of you that exists to impress. There is only the real you, and the real you is built or destroyed in those moments. Every rep at 5 a.m., every page read when you're exhausted, every cold decision made without an audience, that is the compound interest of identity. Discipline in private is the only discipline that counts. Insight 3. Consistency only works in private. Most men won't accept this. Consistency, real consistency, the kind that produces results, cannot be maintained by external motivation. The crowd is unreliable. The likes dry up. The support disappears. If your how to be consistent strategy depends on other people, it will collapse every single time. The Stoics called this living according to nature, acting from your own inner standard, not from the reactions of others. Insight 4. Silence is power, not absence. Seneca said, retire into yourself as much as possible, not as defeat, as strategy. When you stop broadcasting your process, something shifts. You stop performing and start becoming. The energy you spent managing your image gets redirected into your actual craft. Silence isn't weakness, it's the loudest form of discipline there is. The man building in the dark will always outlast the man performing in the light. Now listen carefully. Here's what you do starting today. Step 1. Build a private standard. Write down 3 non-negotiable behaviors you will do every single day, regardless of whether anyone ever finds out. Not goals, behaviors. These become your private code. This is your Stoic discipline routine. Step 2. Remove the performance. For 30 days, stop posting about your process. No workout check-ins, no productivity posts, no discipline content while you're still building discipline. Do the work invisibly and measure only by your own standard. Step 3. Use darkness as a test. When motivation drops, and it will, ask, am I doing this for me or for the version of me someone else is watching? If the answer is external, dig deeper. Reconnect to the private reason. The reason that exists when no one is watching. Step 4. Audit your identity weekly. Marcus Aurelius did this in his journal. Every week, sit with yourself, no phone, no noise, and ask, did my actions this week match the man I claim to be? This is how to be consistent over years, not just weeks. You don't rise to the level of your motivation, you fall to the level of your private standards. Marcus Aurelius never published his journal. Epictetus taught from a small room. Seneca wrote in exile. These weren't failures of visibility, they were the conditions that produced greatness. The world will see the results, but it will never see the work. And that's exactly how it should be. Most men won't accept this. They need the validation too much. They're too addicted to the performance. And so they will stay exactly where they are, average, public, and perpetually disappointed. But you already know what you need to do. Go build in the dark. If this hit you, if something in you recognized the truth in this, save this video, share it with one man who needs to hear it, and subscribe if you're serious about doing the work when no one is watching. This is Stoic Legend. I'll see you in the next one. The version of you that needs an audience will always stay average. The version that doesn't, that's the one worth becoming.